Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is wherever you are. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of Saturday Morning Sit Downs. And in today's episode, we are going to be complicating the age-old question, why is Scooby-Doo so rewatchable, by exposing the plot concept that every Scooby-Doo Where Are You episode, minus potentially Scooby-Doo Where Are You Season 3 or the Scooby-Doo Show Season 1, if you want to get or Season 3 if you want to get technical, followed. But before we get into that, please do me a huge favor and hit the like button. It really helps expose my channel to more people due to the YouTube algorithm. That's just how it works. And if you enjoy Scooby-Doo or just classic cartoons, please do remember to hit the subscribe button because I post new videos every single day at 7 a.m. Central Time. Now, on to the big question. What main plot concept did every episode follow? Well, there are six main steps that every episode of Scooby-Doo Where Are You Season 1 and Season 2 followed, and they are as followed. First of all, the gang is in the Mystery Machine and is coming from or going to a normal team function. The van just happens to break down for some reason, and coincidentally, the gang is in the vicinity of a mostly abandoned property, example maybe a ski lodge, a hotel, a factory, or a mansion. I know we've seen all those settings in every episode, or not in every episode, but throughout the course of Scooby-Doo Where Are You Season 1 and Scooby-Doo Where Are You Season 2. The second step. Then their immediate location just happens to be experiencing some paranormal monster, ghost, yeti, vampire, or witch problem or activity, and so the gang voluntarily investigates. Moving on to the third step. So after step 2, the gang splits up and to cover more ground as per usual. This leads to Fred and Velma finding clues, Daphne finding danger or being captured or taken or whatever, and Scooby and Shaggy finding food, and then fun, and then the monster who chases them, and that's when the other members of the gang learn of the monster and see the monster for the first time. Monster, ghost. I'm being broad when I say the term monster. Step number 4. Then the gang looks for clues, and eventually the clues are found to pursue the gang, to persuade the gang that the monster is fake or is a cover up or it's not real, basically. Then Fred just happens to develop a very complex trap to capture the monster, ghost, yeti, which obviously, once again, when I say monster, I'm being broad. The quote unquote bad guy, I guess, would be a better term for it. Only for the complex trap just to go wrong. After this, the gang agrees to go get the sheriff or call the sheriff, depending on which episode you're talking about. But as soon as they get about halfway to going to find the sheriff, or they learn they can't call the sheriff, or they run into the monster or villain. The fifth step, and second to last step, after a chase scene, which there usually is, after they are on their way to get the sheriff, and then they get stopped in their tracks by the villain, then there's a chase scene. And then the monster is captured and unmasked, and after the unmasking scene, the villain is unsuspected most of the time. I'm not saying all the time. There are times where the gang does suspect the person who ultimately is the villain. Using the disguise to cover up some crime or scam that would better themselves. So basically, what that statement's saying is that Scooby-Doo taught us that the real monsters in the world are people. I'm just kidding. That was funny. Moving on to step 6. After the scene, which includes the line, and I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for you meddling kids, the villain is taken to jail and the gang continues on their journey. So those are the main 6 steps that every episode of Scooby-Doo Where Are You Season 1 and Season 2. Like I said, I'm not entirely sure on Season 3. It's been a while since I've watched Season 3. I'm currently watching Season 1 right now, and obviously after I finish that, I'll move on to Season 2. But then before I get to Season 3, I have to go through the new Scooby-Doo movies, and I have to go through another part of the Scooby-Doo show. So it might be a little bit for that. But anyway, that is the main plot. Those are the main plot points that each Scooby-Doo Where Are You episode follows. And that brings up the big question, which everyone asks. I mean, it's all over the internet, and nobody really has a clear-cut answer for it, and that is, how are they so easily rewatchable? And I think that's the beauty of this show, is the fact that it's so repetitive that if it were any other show, there's no way that it would be successful. But what's crazy about this show in particular is it can be so repetitive and it can still be so interesting. And I even find that with myself, I can watch every season over and over again and not get bored. And I don't know what it is, and I don't think anybody really has a clear answer to why that is and why this show is able to do that to people. But I'd like to dive deeper in that. So I don't know. That might be another topic for another Saturday or Sunday morning sit down. But that's what really that's why this show is able to run for almost over 50 years now. Which is, but no one knows the answer, and I don't even know if the people who made the show had the answer. It's just the vibe that each incarnation gives off, I guess. So anyway, guys, that is going to be it for this episode of Saturday Morning Sit Downs. I'm trying to make them longer. I'm trying to get past like the 5-minute videos. I'd like to be between 5 or probably between 7 and 10 minutes. This one obviously is going to be a little bit shorter than that, but that's no big deal. But anyway, I want to thank you all very much for watching this episode of Saturday Morning Sit Downs. I kind of formulated this one as different from last week's. In this episode of Saturday Morning Sit Downs, I had a script that I followed. So I think it was more, I didn't like ramble, which is what I'm doing now, but this isn't in the script, but I just wanted to explain this to you guys. But so yeah, it was based off a script that I wrote prior, that I wrote in advance, of course. So, and I don't know, I mean, that probably makes it clearer, and it probably sounds better that way. So I think I'm going to continue down that route. I probably will still have times where I start to ramble off like I am right now. But yeah, so that's how I formulated this episode. And yeah, so once again, thank you all so much for watching. Please don't forget to comment, of course. If you have any questions, concerns, criticism, I'd like to hear it all. Just go ahead and comment down below. I mean, I have quite a bit of knowledge about this show, so if you have any questions about anything, go ahead and post it down below, and I do respond to every comment as well. Don't forget to like the video or dislike. They both help with the YouTube algorithm. Like is particularly better because it helps my channel get exposed to more people, because it shows YouTube that you guys are enjoying my content, which I already explained this at the beginning of the video. So, and don't forget to subscribe, of course, because obviously the more the merrier, and we're trying to hit 500 subscribers this year, and 300 this month, if that's possible. I don't know. I guess we'll see. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in tomorrow's video of Sunday Morning Sit Downs.